Please listen carefully.
Hello, universe, and welcome to the Optimist Daily Update. I'm Kristy Jansen.
And I'm Summers McKay.
And we are part of the team behind the Optimist Daily, making solutions the news. We bring you reader-funded solutions news every day in order to change the tenor of news media, social media, and the direction of your day to one focus on solutions.
7 days a week, we publish positive news stories written by award-winning journalists and delivered online to your inbox and through our social channels. And also, we are sharing these solutions in a commute-worthy, walk-worthy, home office-worthy, but we didn't do video today-worthy podcast. Today is Wednesday, the 18th of November, 2020. Hey, Kristy, there's pretty much 33 days left in the year.
That is mind-boggling, Summers. I can't believe you just pointed it out to me. That had not occurred to me until you said that. Wow. This has been both the fastest and the longest year I've ever experienced.
43. Sorry, I was bad at math. But yeah, still 43 days left in the year.
Well, it's still not very many, And leading up to the end of the year, we've got all the major holidays coming up. I mean, Thanksgiving is just a couple weeks away, and then there's that Christmas, and then there's New Year's, and yeah, it's 2020, man.
Wow.
2020.
It's been like a super trip of a year. I mean, we talk all about the awkward passing of time on the Optimist Daily, and I'm sure our listeners probably think, hopefully they agree that it's just all crazy. And one of our colleagues, and I may have mentioned this before, said that 2020 has basically been a fever dream. And it's so true because it just, the whole thing kind of makes no sense. Yet somehow we're at the end of the year and we're going to celebrate. And the Optimist Daily made it through a really bad year and our families are okay. And I don't know. It's just, it's such suspended reality.
It is. It's the Salvador Dali-esque version of reality. There's melting clocks everywhere.
Totally. Well, and next week is Thanksgiving, right? So Optimist Daily is going to have kind of a different publishing schedule next week. We're going to give the team a little bit of time off. I think most everybody is going to take both the Thursday and the Friday of next week off. Obviously, we give Thanksgiving off. But I think it'll be a good time for everybody to reset. And I think, a lot of gratitude. And we talked about framing this week around gratitude and this month around gratitude. So, even if you're feeling like weird time warp zone crazy, there's some anchors, some gratitude anchors, family and love, and, obviously Zoom calls with Kristy. That's what's keeping me anchored. What's keeping you anchored today on the Optimist Daily?
Well, the headline that I'm going to focus on, which just thrills and delights me, reads, the SpaceX has successfully launched 4 astronauts into space. And this is the capsule is called Resilience, which I just love that name. And it was actually a name that was chosen by the astronauts. And this is a public-private partnership between NASA and SpaceX. It's the first time that astronauts have gone to the International Space Station directly from a United States port. It's tremendous. It's just, to me, a little bit mind-boggling and exciting because it shows that the future of travel in space is going to happen. And so this, as you can go read the story, but it launched 4 astronauts, including 3 NASA astronauts and 1 astronaut from Japan. And it's one of the most diverse teams that have ever been launched. I find that very interesting as well. And they landed at the International Space Station. So now there's, I think, 7 crew members on board there for the moment. Anyway, it's very exciting.
Super exciting. Even though you and I aren't ever going to be astronauts, we can certainly imagine if we were on that adventure. So
yeah, and it opens the door for commercial space travel because it is a privately funded enterprise. It opens up the door for exploration. It is beyond governments, and they are on the International Space Station, which is a collaborative global experience. And I think that's also interesting and fun and worth acknowledging. So that was my headline for the day.
What I love about this story is just that combination of private enterprise and the geopolitical alignment and all of the different things that come together to make this happen, right? You've got private and public sectors all working together, and SpaceX has, been incentivized as a private industry to participate in what previously was like a public sector opportunity. So I love this taking away solution silos and letting private and public sectors work together to achieve pretty amazing things.
It does show that there is a role for the public research and development and exploration. And then also there's a role for the private side, which is, has the benefit of finding new efficiencies and potentially using it as an economic boon, right, for the investors in that. It's an exciting opportunity. So that's my headline that I chose from today's stories. What about you?
Out of space and into the home, which seems to be where I spend, well, I guess where we all spend most of our time.
Way too much time.
As many of you guys know, Brennan grows out of clothes faster than I can say, like, size 2T. And I have so much clothing, both from my previous career and life outside of COVID, as well as all the clothing from my baby, that I have in the past just sort of chucked off to Goodwill and donated and said, okay, well, to the best of you. And I know that a lot of those donations actually never even make it to market, right? They never even, because there's just so much that gets wasted. The textile industry is actually one of the highest polluters in the world, and they produce more carbon emissions than the airline and maritime industries combined. And so that's why this headline today really makes me excited, because it reads, online platforms are fueling a boom in sustainable secondhand fashion. I think the idea of sustainable secondhand fashion, whether it's being used organizations like ThredUp or Poshmark or RealReal. Poshmark is a peer-to-peer sales environment. I think ThredUp and RealReal may be online direct retailers. I just love the idea that thrift stores are now not your only option, that in fact online sales of clothing, of curated clothing, are really, really popping. I think this is a great way to reduce our impact. It's also a great way to be more efficient with our spends. And I know the boxes and boxes I have of Brennan's clothing upstairs. And now I feel like I actually have something valuable I can do with them and, put them into these online retail and sell them, as opposed to just, dump them off at Goodwill and hope they don't get trashed. And that's not negative about the Goodwill organization. There's just so much clothing that is not ever reused. And I'm just very excited to see the advancing of all of these online platforms. And I know eBay was the first, but who goes on eBay to sell baby onesies, right? You're not going on eBay to sell baby onesies, but you might very well go on Poshmark. So I'm pretty excited about this. And I think that's going to be my project over the holidays and the break time, is to kind of knock out selling some of these things. And if you still want to do good and you sell your stuff on Poshmark, you can make a, cash donation, a tax deductible donation of the cash you earn at the end of the year. So I like this. Again, it is about private enterprise. It's about do good, do well. It's about reducing carbon footprint and reducing our emissions by reusing and creating a circular economy for stuff that does not have to go into landfill and does not have to be trash. That's my favorite headline on this Hump Day Optimist Daily.
No, it's great. And yeah, it's true. I mean, one person's trash is another person's treasure. And there's often a second life for clothing, and especially if you are buying quality clothes. So I think there's been a significant movement away from those kind of fashion houses and more towards this kind of outlet and resource, whether it's a local thrift store or a local secondhand consignment store, which I enjoy sending my clothes to and also shopping in at times, or an online one like the RealReal or Poshmark. It's great. Yeah. All right. So a few other headlines to touch on. I know we have a sort of a short day because we have a heavy schedule for the rest of today. Wednesday, we've got Zoom offering unlimited video chat minutes on Thanksgiving. I think that's great for those of us who don't have a professional Zoom account. I actually do, so it doesn't matter for me. But it's great that they won't have that 40-minute limited time there. UK's energy companies are collaborating on green energy infrastructure projects. There's new links about gut health and Alzheimer's. That's super important to consider. And there's many more stories on the Optimist Daily today, Wednesday. Thank you so much for listening to the Optimist Daily Update. We promise to continue to share positive solution-based stories with ideas on how you can participate in this changing world and ensure it is changed for the good. We promise. Summers and I and the whole Optimist Daily team to keep covering these current events with accuracy, legitimate sources, and offering you the information needed most to chart new paths for all of us.
Please, everybody, consider becoming an emissary on theoptimistdaily.com. Help us out with just $5 a month, supporting reader-funded, independent journalism. Be part of the solution changing consciousness and addressing our world's biggest challenges. Let's keep the Optimist Daily free to all who need it, supported by those who can. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic day, and we will see you tomorrow.